Hello and welcome to the Year 5 Parent Information presentation. So in Year 5 this year, the staff will be myself, Mr. Hill, and Jean as the teaching assistant. Maths. So in Maths in Year 5, children must know and understand the four operations: addition, subtraction, multiplication and division, and be able to calculate accurately. We'll do a range of questions based on fluency, problem solving and reasoning. They should be confident with all times tables. Maths will be taught daily with a weekly arithmetic test every Friday. In terms of addition, we'll be using the column method that can be seen on the right. We'll also move on to calculations involving decimals, which will test children's ability to line up the place value columns accurately, put in place value holders where necessary, so you can see an example of that in the last picture with the red circle. Subtraction is similar, so again using the column method and again using decimals, problems with money, just to test children's confidence and understanding of the method. Multiplication. So in Year 5, both short and long multiplication will be introduced to the children by making comparisons with the grid method, which they would have done in previous years. This will help build on their understanding of the place value of each digit within the calculation, so it helps them understand the breakdown of multiplication and how it all fits together. Division, so short division calculations with remainders will again build on children's knowledge of short division that they would have done in Year 3 and 4. This will include work on how remainders can also be converted into decimals. If children are confident and accurate using this method, then we will introduce long division, dividing any number by any two-digit number. So our aim at St George's is to cultivate a love of reading. Therefore, children are expected to read every evening when they get home. This can be anything, any text type, fiction, non-fiction, newspaper article. Children at the moment have a reading book from the class reading corner. This is while we work out how to use the library safely during the current circumstances. In school we also have a silent daily reading time, so this is 20 minutes every day where children have time to independently read their reading book. So when writing in Year 5, it's important to remember for the children to punctuate their sentences correctly and accurately. There's also a huge focus on grammar in the current curriculum, with sentences being written in the appropriate tense for that text type consistently. So throughout the year we'll be exploring a range of high quality text, so you can see some of them at the bottom of the slide. So Street Child, Flotsam, Boy in the Tower, with our learning journeys all leading to children independently writing outcomes in a variety of genres. So letters, diary entries, narratives. We do a report on recycling plastic, and we do a biography on Dr. Bernardo. Spelling, so in Year 5 we give out weekly spellings. These get sent home on a Friday and then tested on the following Friday. Children are expected to spend time at home learning these spellings. But on the slide you can see some really useful ways of doing this. So look, cover, write, check, put them in a sentence, looking for definitions and looking for any spelling patterns. Every week they'll be focused on a certain spelling rule, so have a look for those spelling patterns. I've also put a picture of the Year 5 spelling list. These are words by the time they reach Year 6 they will be looked for in their writing when we're seeing if they are age-related expectation. So these are words that will need to be spelt correctly and consistently in their writing. So this year our wider curriculum will be centred around the big questions. So each term we'll have a different big question. So you can see these in the grid. So in the autumn term it's the Discover term, which means there's a big focus on history, and our big question is, should we accept our place in society? In the spring term, it's do we always appreciate what we have, which is the explore term, which is a geography focus, and then in the summer term is the create term, which has an art focus, and our big question is should we always believe what we see and what we hear. So these big questions link into all of our learning that we do across different subjects. We make different links, and it just provides children a deeper way of thinking about each subject and how it relates to each big question. PE. So PE at the moment is taught by myself on a Monday afternoon. Due to the current circumstances with the coronavirus, children must come to school wearing their PE kit and wear it all day. This is just to ensure that there's no accidental swapping of clothes and to avoid any bubbles crossing in changing rooms, so we don't have to share certain areas. Educational visits. So you can see a list of educational visits. These will all be dependent on government guidance, which is constantly changing at the moment. The Victorian experience trip we're looking at doing in the last half term of autumn, so hopefully we'll be able to make that happen. In the spring term, it's the Edgbaston Reservoir and also the place of worship visit to the Buddhist pagoda, and then in the summer term there's a space centre and Cornwall, which again will depend on government guidance and how that changes in relation to residentials. So it's all dependent. Hopefully we can do as many trips as possible, but at the moment it's just a case of we have to wait and see. Okay, I just wanted to finish with this sheet. So this is a fact sheet. So in the middle you can see our big question: should we accept our place in society? Our big questions are linked to 4 key words. So for this term it's fairness, prejudice, adversity and reform. So our history focus, we look at the Victorians and we look at how that question relates to the Victorians in terms of the reform that happened, how different people were treated, fairness, class difference. We also make links with RE and understanding the impact that religion has on people's beliefs, how they live their lives, religion in different areas, how this varies, what do we notice. Also with our English, links in with Street Child, and we look at Dr. Bernardo. So all this means we can have really useful conversations with the children about this big question, get their opinions, and it just provides that deeper layer of thinking for them. Also you can see some maths objectives and science objectives. So in science we first look at materials and changes of materials. Okay, so thank you for listening. Any questions, just come and find me. You can send me an email to my teacher email, which is mrhill@stgeorgesb16.com. Thank you.